Good evening, folks, and welcome. Yeah, that took some sorting out, but I think we've got there now. Oh yeah, I can see it changing on the screen. Yeah, I can see it. We're working now. Thank God. Anyway, let's go to camera 2. And I'll turn that volume down on that monitor. So we'll turn the volume down. There we are. We don't need the monitor volume up. Let's move my phone. That can be charging up. There we go. And what have we got tonight? Well, tonight, this afternoon I'll begin by saying I had a visit from Paul. He came for his Dansette amp and he came for his hacker. And a very nice gentleman indeed. Real nice chap. He was here for about maybe just under an hour-ish, around that region. We had a really good chat. Good evening, Adrian. Yes, I'm well, thank you, my friend. I'm very well. It's nice to be able to see what I'm doing now, rather than having to keep looking behind me. You know, a bit like you checking to see if there's a copper behind you or something. Anyway, tonight, as you probably all gather, how many we got looking in? Does it tell me on here? It should somewhere. Oh yeah, 6 watching, 7. Lovely. Anyway, I did actually start the video a bit earlier than this, but I forgot to click go live because I've tried different settings and I forgot to click the go live, which you wanted me to do. Anyway, what we're going to do, what we've got tonight, this is actually in pretty nice condition. This, there we go, is a Conquest Auto, and it's complete. It's pulled the knobs off the front. It's pulled the knobs off the front. I thought he'd removed the screws as well, but he hasn't. Let's just pull that bit round there a bit. There we go. Pull the drill a bit. There we are. Right. No cartridge, but he has provided a cartridge. Wind that down. Right. So what we're going to do, we'll start with the changer, because we've done a couple of amplifiers now in a row. I'll come to the chat in a minute because I still can't read it from here because it's a bit out of focus, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to you. But I want to get this apart. This is one of the early Auto Conquests. But he's brought me down 2 of these. He's brought me down 2 of these UA8s, and one of them, what he wants me to do is make the best one up out of 2, and give him put the best one back in here, and what's left I can keep. I think he said. So I get to keep what's left, which is fair enough. We'll find a pot to put those in a bit. removed our inspection panel. There's our amplifier, which we're not going to mess with tonight. No amplifier tonight. Tonight it's going to be the UA8. We've got two nice big LX speakers in there, wired in parallel at ECL 80 ECL 82 audio output in these. So tonight we're going to be doing the UA8. We're sorting out the changer, and he's like I say, he's given me two changers. No, that screw's just disappeared. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put them all in the case anyway. I'll drop them all in the box, and then we know where they all are. Christine,
yeah.
do us a cup of coffee, please. Thank you. Right, well, we don't know what this one does, don't know whether it works, whether it doesn't work. I can't remember what he told me about it. I think it needs updating because it only plays old records. Yeah. My cup's on the side there, Christine. And what we'll do, we'll get this out. And we'll brought that one up far enough. You can never tell. No, I haven't. I have now. So you're getting your big fat sausage fingers in there. It's a bit of an issue, but we do it. Yeah. These auto Conquests, by the way, they are not a bad record player. I've had a few. When I was a young child, I used to get them all the time because I used to go around the council tip. And I used to find loads of these things. I wish I still had them now. The prices that people pay for them, I mean, come on. So what we're going to do, we're going to assess both decks, we're going to clean them, and I'm going to give him the nicest one back in this unit. And the other one will be put into storage, because it'll still be repaired, it'll still be serviced, because you never know. You can buy the mats for these, they're about 30 quid, I wouldn't pay that for one, but you can get them. I'll come and say hello to everybody in a minute. We'll just get this auto changer out. And when you lift these changers out, lift them from that side up, because that way you won't get caught on the handle nuts that come through the case. And I generally just lift them up like that. There we are. Then we can lift it to where we want it. This is actually quite a good nick. We'll chop the power cord because we will be replacing the power cord. We don't send them out. They don't get sent out from here with the original power cords on them. So we will chop the power cord, but we'll be leaving us so we can test it. There we go. And that'll go into the box of wire. That'll go into my wire box. And what we do, we just throw that in the wire box at some point. And we can clip these. So we can, what I'll do, I'll clip these and I'll redo them because not all of them have that socket on the back. There we go. And I'll clip these and redo them because they haven't have it melting like bloody hell. So we'll clip that and redo that. And the motor, we'll Will we desolder the motor? No, we won't, because it goes straight to the on-off. We'll do it, and we'll put a chock block on it. There we go. Now we can lift our UA8 out of where it lives. Put the inspection panel in the back in the machine. Everything you take out of the machine, put back in there. That way, when you come to reassemble it, there we go. We'll just drop that into there. Fasten the case. It should be a damn sight lighter now, that case, because we've taken out its BSR. There we go. And there it is in all its glory, all its splendour. The very, very extremely reliable BSR UA8 Monarch. It doesn't say Monarch on these, but they're all basically generically Monarchs. That's what we call them. Right. And quite rightly, when it comes to auto changes, BSR really were the king of decks. Put it on here. You know something?
A bit under.
You spill that everywhere, you know. You spill it on these decks.
I'll see you in a bit.
I'll see you later. Right, so what we're going to do here, well, we're a bit of a thingy here because the speed on this is seized up, so that feels all right. Now we've got some scratches on here, so we're going to decide which one's going to go into his and which one's not going to go into his. Before we do, let's have a look at the chat. Let's just pull me picture back now. There we go. Looking forward to this evening. So am I, Adrian. So am I, mate. Simon Wiggle. Good evening, Simon. Hope you're good, mate. Evening. Yeah, I've said good evening to Adrian. Oh, we've not got very far yet. Oh, hang on a minute. That's I'm on a different thing. What are you up to? Continuing the pie black box. Oh, how far have you got? You haven't got very far yet. Good evening, Paul. As you can see, one of your Monarchs, UA8 Monarchs, is on the operating table. Yeah, it was nice to have a chat with you today. Really nice to meet you. Yeah. So the amp actually works. Adrian's amp, that is. The amp, is it a valve amp in yours, Adrian, or is it a transistor one? Because they made the black box for 10 years. And I'm not talking about the one made in the 70s, the stereo one with a plastic lid on it. But the original the original Pi black box was in production from 1955 to 1965. And it evolved from its four valve, I think it's 4 valve including rectifier, to a transistorized amp. Yeah, mine's a transistor one. Yeah, they can be a bit tricky to get the transistors for, because those outputs, the germanium outputs, and they do fail. They can be a bit tricky, but you can use, what did I use? I can't remember. You'd have to look in my video when I did the black box. I didn't use what was originally in there, that's for sure, because I didn't have any. I got 2 transistors out. There were germanium transistors. You can't use silicon unless you're going to rebuild the entire bloody amp. you don't wish it was the valve. I'll tell you why. Because the pie black boxes with valves in them, yeah, they're good and they do sound nice. I've had one, in fact I've got one in the shed. The problem with them is the valve sockets they use were crap, and the valves are always losing continuity. They're terrible things. You know, if you do those, you have to change the valve sockets in them. They are notorious for going bad. Anyway, let's get the other monocup here and see which one is the best out of the two. Well, to start with, I like the look of the knobs on this one. They're nice and clear, nice and bright. Let's do a bit of comparing. Right, yeah, it's not seized up either. Right, and this has got the correct cartridge clipping that we're going to need. No cartridge wire in it, but that's not a problem. We can soon put toe-arm wires in. Toe-arm wires from here will go in it, and we only need two really. So we can put two toe-arm wires in here because it's only mono and it's highly unlikely. And this little trim here is broken, and I don't know how you get those off without thinking, so I think they just come undone. But we're not going to risk doing that. What we'll do, we'll swap the control arm over. But yeah, these knobs on here, yeah, this is nice and bright. This is lovely. So what we'll do, we'll swap. What's this speed knob like? I think we'll stick with this speed knob, but we'll change this control knob. If these don't come off, don't worry about it. Don't try and force them, because if these don't come off and you can't get them off, leave them on, because you very rarely have to go under there. You don't have to go under there and take all that off, so we're all right with that. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this one in the rebuild. The turntable mat's gone hard. Nothing we can do about that. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to try the mechanism. Yeah, the Magilift detector's popped up. Yeah, that's working. Right, so but the centre spindle, I think we're a bit missing, so we're going to have to change this as well. That's a pain in the ass. Why have we got a bit missing? Or either that or it's dropped. Why have we got a bit missing? Either that or it's dropped through. And it hasn't dropped through, so we've got a bit missing. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to use this one. We have got toe-arm wires, the remains of them are there. Oh no, they're the remains of the amp. The motors are exactly the same, these decks are identical. So what we're going to do, we're going to strip this one. We'll nick the centre spindle out of that one if we have to, which I think we will. So because this is all scratched here, and this has got a couple of marks which I think will come off. That there's supposed to be a little dot. So we'll just clean him out. We've got a scratch here. Let me just say, get me cloth and see if all this detritus here will come off this. Make sure this oxidisation isn't really carved in. Right, that's a piece I've just polished there. And look at that. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll get this one out of the way. So we're going to use this one to cannibalise for bits. And this one, although it looks manky as hell, this is the one that's gonna. This is the one that we're going to be. And you take these off by undoing that nut there. Look, you wind that nut all the way out, and it's popped up. There you are. That was nice, easy, wasn't it? Yeah, Christy's just done me a coffee. Oh, don't worry about it, Paul. I don't mind. You know, absolutely not, mate. It's always a pleasure to meet people. You know, it's always a pleasure to meet my subscribers. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever, guys. You know, it's always nice. And I have met a few of you guys. You know, I've bumped into a few of you at Goulburn. You know, I've seen a few of you at Goulburn. I've seen a few of you. The other thing is, when you're taking this turntable off, be mindful of that washer. It sticks to there and it can be easily lost. So be mindful of that. And we'll take off the idler, because this is going to be a full strip down, and clean and lube. And don't forget your two fibre washers that are under there. And the other nice thing, we've got a bit of a luxury here with us today, because when I don't do one of these for a while, and then you come to put them back together, you think, well, where did that go? Well, we're alright, because somebody cut into the arm on that. Yeah. Well, what it is, it's the actual armrest where it's been too tight and it's actually damaged the metal. But we'll probably end up using the other arm as well. Now, what we do to get the centre spindle out, they're a real pain in the arse, these centre spindles, I'll tell you that now. But what we do, we take a small screwdriver, and we just happen to have a nice set of screwdrivers that Paul sent to us last week. So we've got a nice set of screwdrivers here. So we should have something in this box. I can turn the soldering iron off, you know. I don't even need that on. Don't need the soldering iron on because we're not doing any. Oh, yeah, I better add, because there's a switch under there I need to desolder. There we go. Right, almost forgot. Right, so basically, but what we do next, we just find a screw driver even. I think it's going to be that one there. Let's let's pull it out. This is a nice set, this. Yeah. What we'll do, we'll just put that over at the back there out of the way. What we'll do, how you get these centre spindles out, they're actually easier to get out when the mechanism's not in. But I can get them out, I've done it this way before. Oh, that's the wrong side. That's the wrong shape, it looked like a flathead. It's not, it's one of those Torx bits. Eee, Andy, you Lulu. I thought it was a flathead because of the position it was in the thing. I thought it wasn't doing much. There's a flathead. I thought I was going a bit funny there for a minute. There's one. Yeah. Push that one in before it comes. Oh no, we can use that one. It's nearer the end, it's easier to have. And push the damn thing back in. Get it. It'll do. There we go. Pop that back over there. And what we'll do, we'll take the centre spindle out for the second time. That's got it. Don't remove the grub screws all the way, I think one of them you have to. One of them you have to remove all the way, it's the bottom one. The bottom one I think you remove all the way, I can't remember. Because one of them has to come out all the way. But I don't understand why somebody's taken... Yeah, I think it's the bottom one that comes out. Yeah, because it's got the bar on it, you see, which goes through... Move that arm out of the way. That's got the bar on it that goes through the spindle. Now this should just pull out. Maybe not. There's not another one in there, is there? No. There's only two in it. We'll bring this one out a bit further. Yeah. Take that screw out anyway. There we go. There we are. Oh no, there's the other part there. It's got itself jammed into the mechanism. Somebody must have... Well, where's the keeper? There's the keeper. Where's the table? That can't be it. This is supposed to pull out now. That is supposed to pull out. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Disconnect the spring. There we go. That's it. So that's supposed to go into there. And we are a piece of this missing. Yeah, that's supposed to go that far up. Because the pin goes through there. We get the pin. The pin goes through there. Then that moves in. It allows that then to move backwards and forwards. And it can't do because it can move backwards and forwards, but it can't move it up and down. That would never drop a record because the what do you call it's missing? The record, the table's missing, which slides in. Not the table, the record pusher. It slides in and pushes the record off the ledge, off the table here. It allows it to drop. So that's, unless there's another, unless I've got a scrapper somewhere, which I don't think I have, because I very rarely have to replace these. They're very rarely an issue. So basically what we're going to be doing, we've got a bit of scratching on here as well, but we're going to just sort the best one out anyway, and I've started on this one now, so this is the one that we're doing. We'll remove the motor. We can assess the grommets and stuff. The motor itself is nice and loose, it's not tight. So we can assess the motor. We can take the motor off. But yeah, this is, I can't believe how nice and fresh that knob is. I mean, this one here is a bit faded, but it's not bad. Somebody's tried to get this off before today, because instead of lifting it off with a clip, and the clip's just disappeared, there it is. Instead of lifting it off with a clip, they've actually tried to prise it up with a washer. Look at that. The washer's bent. Now, the grommets look okay. The motor is disgustingly bad. And what we'll do there, we'll see if we can disconnect this from the switch. just cut the, because we can re-sleeve that with heat shrink, but doing that's not a problem. Yeah, we've got a gold bond coming up in a couple of months. I think that's going to just now we're nearly done. Get this off here. Real. Let's get this. There we are. That's one off. Now the next one. Because you can't really get the, they are a bit of a pain in the ass to do. I've got one of these. I've got one of these in my I've got one of these decks in my Peto Scott radiogram, and it's absolutely immaculate. It's the radiogram was made in 1957, and it was bought by the same family that bought it. It was in their ownership from new. I'm the second person to own it. It's a lovely old machine. It works really well. It's been serviced and had a new dial string and stuff, but it works really, really well, and I'm really, really happy with it. I paid a bit much. I paid 30 quid because it was 15 quid and I had to pay 15 delivery, but I didn't mind that. I offered him that because from the pictures I'd just missed it on eBay, and I managed to get hold of him through the network, through the email and stuff. I managed to send him a few. I managed to send him messages and stuff, and we was able to come up with a deal. So there we are, you see. That's right. The tone arm's going to come off this nice and easy because they have a nut on them, and the nut normally undoes fairly easily, but you know, when it's been on there about 50, 60 years, nearly 70 years, don't expect it to just jump off. I would imagine that back in the day, BSR probably had a tool for getting these on and off. It was probably a nut tightener and undoer. And they haven't a bit of spring in out, so don't worry about that. Just lift the arm off and place everything with the arm into the turntable. Make sure you don't lose your washers off your motor, they have to go back in. And your spacer from your tone arm. Crucial. Now, turn it back upside down. Lift this out. That's your clip. Then what we can do, we can undo that. That's been undone. Well, somebody's had a go. Yeah, they've been undone. Well, somebody's had a go. No worries, though, don't worry about that, because there's no damage or anything. And that last screw down there is loose because the mechanism shouldn't just droop, and it is actually a bit loose. Oh no, might have just been loose on the peg. There we go. But need to do is undo this. Now we can do this by either taking it off from there, lift this out, there we are, or we can do it from here. Either way you do it, yeah, has to be done. So I think what we might do, what we'll do, we'll disconnect, we'll take the whole spring off. We'll take the whole spring off. There we are. And it does open the end a bit, but that's no worries because we need it open to put it back in. Now we can shove this down here out of the way because we're not going to need that. And this is what we're interested in. This is the heart of the BS harmonic. Now, if you ladies and gentlemen permit me, I will now have a sip of my coffee. Which is increasingly dropping in temperature. I'll wipe the bottom of my cup. So I can put it there and not get everything sticky. Wipe that there. There we go. I'm going to come and have a look at the chat. And do a video gold bond. Well, I'm not. I used to. No, you know, Christine didn't do a coffee. She wasn't here long enough. She came, took scraps out, fed him for me, and then went to the chippy for our dinner. So yeah, I can zoom in, guys. Certainly can. Hang on. Yeah, I am able to zoom in. Oh, hang on, wrong camera. I keep forgetting there's a time delay. So let me see how far we've zoomed in, because I can come in a bit more. There we go, I can go a bit more. Yeah, because you want to see less of me and more of the actual job I'm doing. I understand. I mean, I look at that, it's instantaneous on the monitor over there. There we go. I can't do anything about the soldering iron being in the way. We'll come back out a little bit. There we go. That should be adequate. I can't do nothing about the soldering iron being in the way. It's where it's mounted and I can't move it because it's just jammed down there. Right. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't have fish and chips. I had pie. I had meat and potato pie, chips, a sausage, and a pound cake. Yeah, if you'd have been able to stay, Paul, I'd have got you some. Certainly, mate. You know. And accessory 6 is asking me to do a video Gorbon. Well, I might, but George Christophe usually does one. He normally does a video Gorbon. State of my hands. Look like I've been sticking in somebody's ass. Anyway, they haven't, but yeah. And basically, yeah, I got that message you sent me, Paul, with that Supertramp record on. I bet that's. I mean, I wouldn't have got the full flavour of it, But I bet it sounded mega on that hacker, didn't it? You know, I bet that It's Raining Again by Supertramp, I bet that's one of my favourite records actually, that. Surprisingly enough, because I do like Supertramp. But that's one of the best records they ever made. But I bet it sound. I've got it, but I've never listened to it on a hacker. But I bet it sounded mega. You know, absolutely. Right. Well, that's enough of the. Well, I'll carry on yapping while I finish my cup of coffee. Otherwise, it will go cold, and I don't like wasting things. Oh, yeah. I see the teachers are going on strike on Wednesday. That's shite, isn't it? But that being said, if I was still at school and they were going on strike, I'd be happy as that, wouldn't I? I'd be happy as Larry, wouldn't I? So you know. Yeah, they're actually, to be honest with you, they're actually a very simple. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. They are. They're just good. They're just good machines. Them hackers. They really are. I mean, everything on the record, you hear it. I mean, they really, really. When they call it a reproducer, they're not wrong. They really, really are. Yeah, they really are. Really good items, really good units. In fact, I had mine up for sale, but I've withdrawn it now, and I'm keeping it. And yeah, so what we're gonna do, because I can't zoom in. I mean, I can't move the soldering iron. So. Because I can't move the salt, well I probably can when it cut, well actually, let's turn the damn thing off. There we go. Because I don't need it now. I don't want to speak too soon, but has anybody noticed? That camera 2 isn't flickering anymore. Remember last week, all through last week, it had that really bad flicker. Has anybody noticed it hasn't flickered once? The reason for that is, I went right through the leads over the weekend, because I didn't do a live stream yesterday because I woke up with a really, really bad head. So because I wasn't doing a live stream yesterday, and I wasn't doing one Saturday, I took the advantage of doing that to go through all the leads, and I cleaned all the leads, not just with a bit of magic spray. I actually scraped them, and I think they connect. And then after I noticed that with camera 2's lead, if I jiggled it, if I just jiggled it, it went off. Camera 2 went off if I so much as looked at the lead at a funny angle. So I cleaned all the connections and made sure everything's a bit better. And then I tried jiggling it after that and it wouldn't go off. So I think I hope we've got it sussed out. Right. We haven't got the stuff down for lubricating yet. We'll get all that when we need it. So what we're going to do, we're going to start. I always start on it, and you can see how grubby this thing. You can see how grubby this thing actually is. And move that turntable out of the way. There we are. That's better, isn't it? You can see that apart from that little soldering iron lead. I remember when I was younger, you know, and I didn't have a lot of money. Well, I still haven't got a lot of money. But when I was young, I was to remove the bearing and the thrust washer. when I was very young, put it with its sort of one there, I accidentally dipped my soldering iron into my brew. And I just heard a bit of a fizz and a pop. And that was the end of my soldering iron. And that wasn't me, by the way, that was my chair. People think that came from my chutney locker. It didn't. There we go. What we'll do next, we'll take out the velocity trip lever, and as you can see, that needs a good clean. Now I'm a couple of seconds behind you guys here on this, but the one good thing about it is, if it stops, because it's on all the time, if it stops, I can see it's stopped and get over there and click it. The next one, this is full of gunge and all sorts of detritus. I'm going a bit slower because there's no point in me going like the clappers when you guys want to see how it's done, and so there's no point in me going like the clappers. This is the cycle ring, take that off, and we've got a little washer there. And did that come off the top or did that come off the bottom? It came off the bottom because it fell off the bottom, so we'll put that there. We're not worried about contaminating anything like the idler at this point in time because it's contaminated anyway. Then down here we've got the push pad. But before we get to the push pad, we'll just make sure we've got nothing there. No, nothing there. What I want to do next, I want to take off the Magi disc selector. The reason why I want to take it off is because it's easier to work with it off. And I thought there's a nut on the bottom of it, so you get it a couple of turns and then the whole lot turns. If you're a bit unsure about doing these, then take photographs, you know, take pics, and then when you come to put it back together, you'll know where you're up to with it. See, we can lift this out of here now, and this is really gummed up and filthy, and the springs just flew out, but that's no worry because I build these all the time. I know where that spring comes from, so I'm okay with things flying out, just as long as nothing flies across the room and it's gone forever. But look at that. Yeah, he also brought me a UA8, which has got a couple of bits missing from the arm. The arm can't be mounted because the arm bar is the bar is missing. The plate that secures it is missing. I've got those though, but what I haven't got is the adjuster plate to adjust the arm height. Now, if anybody's got one of those, if anybody's got a really knackered, it has to be tired because I won't take it from a good one. If anybody's got a UA5 that's in a bad state of repair, or even got the complete arm, then yeah, it'd be nice to sort this out for this gentleman because he really is a nice guy. It'd be nice to sort it out for him and get it up and rolling. So what we'll do next, we want to take off our push pad, because the UA25 he brought me, and and I think the clip just disappeared into oblivion. It'll be here somewhere, but that doesn't matter because we've got loads of them. It's probably flew under here somewhere. Lift that out of there, and remember to count these if you're not sure. And you've got another clip under there actually. I think this is supposed to come out. So yeah, that's supposed to come out of there. That's the cam follower. That's supposed to come out, so there's the clip. You can't get the other clip off with that in the way. So that is supposed to lift out. But we might need a bit of juice on it. Get the bigger pliers, because they've got no grip on them hardly. These ones have got plenty of, these ones have. That's definitely supposed to, yeah, it doesn't want to come out. And you can't get the tool in there to get the clip, I don't think. Let's try. But that's definitely supposed. Oh no, it's not supposed to come out. Phew, Andy. What you're supposed to do is no, well, the clip turns. And, I've never had this issue of getting one of these out before. Let's just see if we can find a thinner screwdriver. Let's try this one. This one's a bit thinner. Just get it into there. There we go. That's got it. And remember, that's it. But I'm sure that's supposed to turn, you know. Yeah, it is. That's supposed to rotate that because that's a separate piece. Yeah. We need to get the heat gun on that. Free that off. Now the next one, is this big one here. So we're going to be probably on this for a couple of days, probably at least till tomorrow anyway. Ooh, with a big lump of fluff. We're going to be on this probably until tomorrow anyway. And what we do next to get this one out, this is a tricky one. Lift it out there and then bring the whole lot, feed all that out. There we go. Didn't move. There we go, gotcha. There we go, take that one off. And remember how many spaces is underneath one clip. Now turn it back that way and the push pad should release. Right. There we go. Let's take Might be better doing it doing this end. So you don't want to stretch the spring. That's it. Let it droop down. Oh, you idiot. Took it off, put it back on. There we are. Right. That's it. That's the spring out. Now the push pad should lift out of place. Now there's your push pad. Now this tone arm mechanism here, we don't really do much with taking that apart because I don't think there's really much point to it. But we will. There's some of it you can't get off. And if I remember rightly, we'll lift that off there. And if I remember rightly, there's a bloody clip in there, an awkward one, which I don't like to take out. And what I'll generally do is clean under there and leave all that in place, because I don't like to take that clip out, because if you lose that, it's game over pretty much, and it's very, very, very just like a piece of wire really, because all you've got under there is a spring, so we're not really in the need for getting that out. We can get under there and clean everything. There's nothing we can't get to. So that's pretty much how far I like to take them down to bits. I don't see the point of going much further than that. This here doesn't come off, it's not designed to. This slider unit here, that's not designed to come off. This is not designed to come off, that's not designed. It's riveted, it's got to stay on. This arm piece unfortunately has got to stay on, because I'm not stripping that, I'm not taking that clip off the top there, because if I lose it, it's game over. So we're not taking that off, and I don't usually take them off. And what we do next, that's all our bits. We put these two clips, this clip and this spacer, in the turntable. Always use the turntable for putting your bits in, because then you know where everything is, and you can get pretty messy. And make sure before you scrape your bench you've got no clips or screws, because if you sweep something off your bench accidentally, you could be in the proverbial. That can go in the bin. I'll put it in there for now, because the bin's over there. Now let's see what we're doing with the chat. You were going to put an offer in for my hacker, but you thought I was attached to it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, yeah, that Dansette radiogram is nice. I bought, oh, good evening S-Dex, I didn't see you there, you must have just popped in. Good evening, my friend. Yeah, I bought the, yeah, I'd like to keep the hacker, because, I mean, yeah, okay, it could be argued everything has a monetary value, and that's true. You know, everything has a price, but you know, there's a point where you decide where you know, whether you want to sell something or whether you want to hang on to it, and whether you need to. But you know, and I don't think to be perfectly honest, I don't really want to sell it. Yeah, the Dansette, the Dansette radiogram. That's a nice little record player, nice little radiogram. I mean, it does work very well. I've removed that from sale as I said I would, and it's you know, not going anywhere now until you come for it. But yeah, it's a nice little unit to have, and they tend not to sort of come up that often. Not in that condition anyway. I mean, usually when they come up, they usually need to be gone through. Well, that's already been gone through, so it's already been dealt with. It doesn't need anything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move my rather plump derriere over to the windowsill, get the cotton. I think the cotton buds are already on here. They are. I want my brush, my grease, and my IPA. And I'm not using one of my new rags I bought the other day, one of my new microfiber cloths. But I'll use one of them when I come to polish everything, when it's all back together. So we want that. We want that. You're going to witness some of it in there, folks. The breaking open of a brand new, oops, nah, would help if I sat down without missing the chair, wouldn't it? There we go. We haven't lost our camera, have we? No. I get confused. That's definitely disconcerting. Just wipe me. Just give me a stick of wipe or my brush, because it's got grease halfway up the handle and it feels absolutely horrible. And there's one thing the keen-eyed amongst you are going to say, well, you didn't get your oil. You forgot your oil. I didn't. It's here. There we go. Oil. Let's see what the chat's saying. Of course I will, Paul, yeah. There's every chance of that. I will do a demonstration of the radiogram. Yes, I can do a quick WhatsApp video for that, can't I? Because it's been seen on. There is a video of it working on YouTube. As I'd include a video of everything on YouTube, but I'll just do a quick WhatsApp for you tomorrow, and I'll give you a demonstration of it actually working. But it does work absolutely beautifully. It's nice. Anyway, so yeah, we'll do that tomorrow for you, Paul, sometime tomorrow afternoon, fella. Yeah, so here we have, look, this is a brand new tin of grease, which I just purchased a few months ago, because I knew I was going to need it. I'm just checking me. Yeah, I've not got the, what do you call it? I mean, I don't know how they expect you to get in these. I mean, the last one I bought, how did I get in that? They don't screw off, they just... yeah, they twist off. But they don't, they just push fit. I think they were designed by Harry Houdini, these. There, you just get a screwdriver under it and just lever it off. There we go. There we go. And what we'll do, we'll use the blob in the top first, and we'll put the top back on for now, because we don't need that. We don't need the grease tube, we'll just put it on lopsided. We'll put that there, out of the way, because we don't need that yet. We've got to clean everything. Cleanse it all. Everything nice and shiny. There we go. Hello, Harvey. You still on about your gas bill? Yeah, I'll sort that out for you tomorrow, Paul. Don't worry about it, mate. I'm trying to remember if it's got a plug on it. It doesn't make any difference because there was 2 plugs in this bag of stuff that you brought today with your record player, so we can throw one of them on it. I can't remember if I put a plug on. I might have done. I think I did actually. I mean, yeah, I must have done. It was up for sale, so why wouldn't I put a plug on it? So what we'll do next, there we go. We'll stand that in my cup, that way if I knock it over it won't go anywhere, and I'm not worried because my cup gets washed after every use. Cotton buds. We'll start with the main chassis. We'll move the oil and the grease. We'll probably have them over here out of the way. And what we'll do, we'll start by just cleaning the chassis. This is an old cloth. We'll start by just cleaning the mechanism really. And I've gone and knocked it again. So I'll get the most of it off with this, and then what I can't get off with this, where I can't get into, we'll go in with a cotton bud. And this doohickey here is your arm pusher. It lifts your arm up on and off the records. So you look at that, it's already looking like new at the moment as it is. And you know something, I've never seen one of these wore out, because it never did enough work. It never did enough work to wear out. They just really, they weren't, I won't say well made, they weren't well made, they were cheap. But they were better than anything they'll make these days in the form of a mechanism, that's for sure. I mean, and to prevent rumble, in the later ones they put a rubber in there, but you don't get that in these old ones. But there again, these old ones didn't really rumble that much, they weren't bad. But what you do, you clean all the specks of grease and everything off the spigot, which is this thing here. You clean everything off the spigot and everything from around the bottom, so that when your ball bearings go, when you put your bearings back in and everything, it's all nice and smooth and it can rotate smoothly. You know, you try and make it look like the day it was first manufactured. I've just heard a dustbin, that might be Christine again. Because she has this habit of checking what's in the dustbins, and she's got a thing for the neighbours' dustbins. There's a screw there, I'm not sure what that's put there for. And that looks like grease. Or is that grease or is it rust? Because there's no need for any grease to be there, because that part doesn't even turn. That doesn't even turn. But what we're doing, we're going to go over it with a cotton bud anyway, so it makes no difference. And we'll, believe it or not, we're nearly done with the mechanism, with the main plate. We'll just go down there we go. Just go down there like that. There we go, you see, that's clean now. That's actually clean, that doesn't need any cotton budding. That's clean. That's all nice and clean now. That's as good as it was the day it was made. So we'll leave that there for a second. I'll just have a look what's the chat saying, because I can now look without having to mess about. Yeah. It's surprising what you can make. Yeah, the 2025 TC, they're good decks. Yeah, they're good decks of 2025. One of the best auto changers, if not the best one. They're really nice. Yeah, I've never been keen on Phillips. Yeah, the Pioneer PL12, they were good. I'm not a big lover of Japanese decks, but yeah, the Pioneer one, the PL12 and that wasn't a bad deck. It's still a good turntable today, the PL12, you know, still a good deck today. So what we can do now, we can move this out of the way, top up the IPA, because not only did I lose some, but there we go, I knocked it, I caught it with the cloth, didn't I? So what we'll do, we'll clean all the big parts with the microfiber cloth. And we'll see if that part is supposed to, I don't think it is, I think it's, no it's not supposed to, no it's right that. Clean all the cack off. Make sure you get all the cack off from everywhere. If you leave one bit of cack on it, it's going to play up. And I'll tell you what, you know, doing record players on this bench is really good, because it's, yeah, I'm at the right height that I feel comfortable working at. I've always felt a bit low down over there. But this chair is just right for what I'm doing now, because I can lean on the bench. I'm not uncomfortable. My posture's not suffering. And there we are, look, a nice clean push pad. Now let's do the cycling gear. Now I want to talk to you a bit about this. I'm going to wipe it first, just to wipe the main bits of, there's some bits of cack on it. Now, there we go. Right, I need to talk to you about the cycling gear, because there's a couple of things you need to know about it. And the first thing is, well, yes, it's the cycling gear. The second thing is that we need a pair of pliers, because we have to take the actuation pawl off. This is the actuation pawl here, so we have to take him off. Hang on. Wow, BSR, you did a good job of tightening that one on. Normally go first go. There we are. I hope that hasn't snapped. That was really tight. No, it hasn't. So we'll take that nut off. And remember, don't leave that nut on loose. It is supposed to be tight. You've just seen the struggle I've had. What we'll do, we'll lay these parts out in front of us. There's your nut, I hope you can see that. Put your finger under there because that pin will drop out. There's your top plate, under your nut. There's your bottom plate. There's your pin. Now, what I want to talk to you about is the bottom plate. The bottom plate has like a little washer, like a little spring. Little spring, it's small. I'll take it out to show you. It's there. It's a bit like that clip I was talking about earlier. I've got nothing I can point with. I don't want to use anything magnetic because I don't want to pick it up. I'll use the end of the paintbrush. There it is. That is your little washer, little spring clip washer thing. Now that is important. You might not think so, but you lose that, baby, and you are not putting this is not working. You lose that and this is not going to work correctly. Trust me. That has to be working. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean these little bits first. We're going to get the cotton buds. Some of these cotton buds look like somebody's had them up their nose. They haven't, like, they're brand new, but some of them have got little black marks on them. So what we'll do, we'll clean that. And that little spring clip thing sits in the little groove in this top of this bottom plate of the actuation pole. And we've got crap on here. I don't put grease on or oil on these. I don't lubricate them because you see we've got a bit of detritus off that. We can use the same cotton bud. Give that a bit of a clean there. Put that back there. Put that there. Now get the pin. Clean the pin. That will do us. There we go. Now we'll slide our hand across here to make sure that we've got no washers. We haven't, we're good. So what we'll do next, we'll take a new cotton bud, or some people in other countries call them Q-tips. Well, we'll clean the main plate with the and what we'll do, we'll bring that all the way through. There we go, look at that. Yuck. And what we'll do, we'll clean the main plate as we've done the rest of it. Get all that detritus off. There we go, we'll come back to the chat in a minute. But you're not going to want to lose anything off this because if you do, when you come to put it back together, it won't work. I know, because I lost one years ago as a bit of a kid. And I lost one in my younger days and I thought, oh, that won't matter, it's only that. And it wouldn't work, and I scoured the floor. I scoured the floor, and eventually, after many hours of scouring the floor, I found it, and I was elated, and I put it back together correctly. Now, what we do here now, we don't lubricate any of this. Which way does it go? See, the thing is, you see, we've got 3 holes, and it goes in that one. Because why? Because it's countersunk. There you go. So make sure you put it in the correct hole. Then we want our bottom plate, which sits there. We want our little spring, which goes in there. We want our top plate. The top plate's nice and clean. The bottom plate was as well. Goes in there. That's perfect. Hold them together. No washer here, just the nut. We'll give everything a, there we go. And what we'll do, we'll hold, that should actually be in position, and I should be able to tighten that. There we go, that'll do it. You might think that's a bit stiff, it's not, it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, we will give it one drop of oil down here. We will give it one drop of oil. There we go. Take off the excess, there we go, it's not needed, that's better, let's correct that. See, because as your turntable goes round, your arm moves in, your velocity trip hits that and pushes that out. Your turntable grabs that acts as an extra tooth on the gear, because you've got what, about 8 teeth missing or something, but that acts as the extra tooth, and it allows the turntable to grab it and pull the gear into the position. It goes anti-clockwise, it allows it to pull it round. So that's that done, that's the gear done, and that's probably the most important part really. Because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose that component, that little small washer. You can't afford to lose that. If you do, pick it up and throw it in the bin. Because you're not gonna, you know, unless you spend hours scouring the floor like I did. Because unless you find one on a shitter, and you ain't going to be able to complete the repair. And I didn't have a shitter back in the day. Check that for straightness. We'll use the cotton bud. You know, I was talking to Paul today when he was here, and we was talking about, you know, what happens to your YouTube channel when you're no longer here, you know, when you pass away. And there's a few that have passed away, like Nick Adams and River Huntington, and Garrard 86, you know, John. There's a few that have gone, and the channels are still up. I think what the best thing to do is to, if you get a warning that you're going to be leaving us, then what you do, this is the velocity trick. What you do basically, you give your password to your channel to a trusted custodian. Like I'll give mine to my daughter, and you know, she'll maintain my channel. Just log into it now and again. She'll never upload anything to it, and you know, because I want to be honest with you, the amount of effort I put in, and I do put a lot of effort in for you guys. I'm not, you know, one of these who just does a little bit and then does nothing. You know, the channel did start out that way, but you know, it's gone to a whole different sort of dimension now. You know, whereas I actually enjoy and, pull that down. It should flip that back that way, and then let me clean the crap off, because we'll put another very, very thin bead of oil, or maybe a very thin bead of grease there, because there's supposed to be a bit of grease there, so we'll not put that near it. So we're nearly cleaned up now on the mechanism parts. We're nearly cleaned up. We've got the speed mechanism to do. We haven't done that yet. Let's clean the little Magidus lever because we can. Little flag because we can. And there we are, you see. Right, let's stop and let's have a break. I'd have a Kit Kat if I had one. Right. Harvey deleted a message. Oh. Andy must be on some super vitamins. I'm not, you know. I don't take anything. You know. Yeah, I'm glad you're pleased with that, Judge. I thought you'd get it today. Yeah, it would be a perfect fit because I checked it before I sent it, obviously. I didn't want to send you one that wouldn't fit. That just defeats the object. Yeah, glad you're pleased. Right, so what are we talking about here? Scroll down a bit. Still got to finish the Tannberg, that's what Harvey's saying. I've got more patience now, that's what Simon's saying, he's got more patience. Yeah, like I say, good evening, Judge. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. I'll probably have to read all this tomorrow because I've missed a few. Do we have to, Simon? What does CE stand for anyway? You know, you seem to find that stuck on everything. The CE mark, what is it? It's somewhat certified. Is it something to do certified for Europe or something? Because I remember years ago we used to have the kite symbol. I remember the kite symbol. Oh yeah, I forgot to send me bloody address, didn't I, Judge? Don't worry, I'll sort it out later on in the morning or something. But we'll sort that out. Yeah, I'll sort that out, Judge. Don't worry about that for now. I've just dropped a botty burp. I wonder. Yeah, this new computer, this new thingamajig, this new tablet. Yeah, it's a lot easier for me to look at things and read. Read people's comments. I'm just going back down, see if there's anything I've missed. I don't think there is really. Anyway, so basically we're actually all nice and clean on here now. This is all as clean as you like. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by putting the spring back in position for the arm. It goes round there, and hang on, let's get this right. Oops, let's get this in the correct position, because it doesn't go down that hole there, it goes down one of these holes, goes down that one there. Yeah, it goes down that hole there. Yep, that's correct. And then it comes round and it goes. I'm doing my best to show you all this, but now that goes round and it goes round. That pin, that goes under there. That's correct. So basically what I've just shown you there, if I hold all this, so I've still got a bit of fluff. Right, so basically what we do, that's a little popper upper thing. No, don't worry about that. Don't need to clean them either, they never get any gunge in them. I've never found one that's seized yet. So basically that spring, we get the end of the brush. It goes down that hole there, and then round that part of the mechanism here. If I can turn this round and maybe show you, I might not be able to, I don't know. But it goes onto that cut out thing there, that punched out piece of metal there. And this doohickey here is what controls, it holds your arm there. And then when it drops down, it allows your arm to move across. So what we'll do next, we'll put this in here. You have to excuse me the way I assemble things, I'm left-handed. Yeah, let's get back in there, you. My things just moved, jumped back out. There we go. So that needs to drop back into there, because we have to get the clip on. I'm just going to let that float. I'm going to let that loose, because I can't hold that up and get the clip on. So, but before I do, I want to make sure that is right. That's correct there, so I'll hold that over my finger, hold that down there, give this a bit of a jiggle. Yeah, that's correct, and that moves across there. That's how the arm moves. There we go. So we just need to get this in position That's it. At least it was. Actually, it should be right. Actually, that's right, because the washer's not supposed to come through, so it just goes onto there. So that can move out of the way and get the clip, and that should be the one. We're doing this completely cack-handed. Well, wrong-handed, because I'm left-handed. I went fishing once and a fisherman called me cack-handed, which I thought was... I can't answer that. That's Christine. I can't answer that. We're not when I'm in mid-flow putting something together. I want to make sure I've got the right clip because there's a couple of different sizes. There's a couple of different sizes and you want the right one. And that's the one for the arm, because it's bigger. That's the one for there. Yeah. You don't want to be putting the wrong one on. There we are. Now that won't all pop off now. That does move, but it's supposed to. Now that's flung around there because that holds it in position like that. So what we'll do next, we'll put our piece on here that holds that in position. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We have to put our push pad in first. So what we'll do, we'll start to get the grease out, which I nearly forgot about. And we'll use the blob off the top first. And there we are. Get a good smearing of grease. You don't need a lot here, folks. Don't need a lot. Just put enough on. Put enough on, but not too much. Right. And that goes all that way, because it has to be able to push the arm back. And that feels good. Don't want to put too much grease on. It's a bit like putting oil in a car. Too much is bad. Let's put this clip back in here because we don't need that for now. So what we can do now, we can start by put on our first spacer. The clips are all nice and clean. But if you're in any doubt, give them a clean. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, it's your job. You're the one doing it, so you do it your way. Just clean those with your hands, that's all they need. You do it your way. It's your job. Put that one on there. You just clean the clips with your fingers because the crap comes off them. You know, you don't have to worry about that. The crap just comes off them. Then what we do, remember this was that difficult one, but luckily enough on these BSRs most of the clips are the same. That's that one. Then we have that goes that way, because that pulls that, you see. That pulls. Because we have to put a spring on there as well, because that pulls that. I think it pulls it that way. Yep. I think it pulls it that way. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually because the centre spindle hole is there and it pulls it like, yeah. We've got one down there to reference off should we need it. Then what we do, put our other spacer in there. Remember there's 2 spacers went there. Then we have one on the top, which went there. And then we have our clip. Which goes on there. It doesn't matter if that's wrong, because it doesn't matter if I get the orientation wrong, because I can change that. I need to get into a better position. There we go. There you go. Now we need to put the spring on. Now where's the push pad spring? That ain't it, that's the spring for the other one. So we want the push pad spring. And it goes, where did I put our push pad spring? I've not lost it, I know it's in here. Where did I put you? There you are. Right. Make sure that we're straight. We're good. So what we'll do, we'll pop him. Getting these in is a pain, especially, go on, just give it a turn, it should pop into its hole. I hate it when you get them on the side and they're really there. And because having these big fingers, sausage fingers doesn't help. But all we do is just put in a spring. That's got it. Now that spring, now Now if I move that backwards, it should put some tension on that spring and hold that spring in place. Right, because that is supposed to go in a certain way. That is supposed to move. That goes that way, that's correct. So what are we catching on? What are we not? It's not that. It's not that. It's definitely not that. It could be, no, it's not that. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I hate it when you have to take it all back off. Yeah, that's supposed to go. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's right. No, it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, it's supposed to go like that. Because that's how it slides in. So let's have a quick, it could even be, oh hang on, yeah it could even be, let's have a look at which way this, could even be that, there we go, because this has to, yeah, because that's working as it should. Let's just move it out of the way, there we go. Yeah. I want to make sure everything's rightly in before I, see, because that's not hitting the end there, so it's not hitting the stop. This spring goes back on this hole there. Tell you what, getting them in can be a pain, but to go in, can I hear you? Wow. Get in. It definitely goes through there. Yeah, it must do. Yeah, it must do. Because that moves. Yeah, because that doesn't go that way. That goes that way. We've got that one there, which moves that, that's right. it's getting them in the correct hole. Ow. That's no. We'll come back to that. I want to make sure that this slides all the way along, and it doesn't. It's supposed to. It's supposed to slide all the way along. I have got the other one that I can look at as a reference, but I don't want to do that. Not yet anyway. And that is caused because that is supposed to, right, that is your, that's supposed to move down, that's right. Yeah, that's all correct, because nothing else could come from round that. That's all correct. We've got another spring that goes through here. Let's just move this up here a bit. Yeah, because that, oh hang on, that spring goes through the centre, goes through there, doesn't it? And then it goes over the loop on that. Yeah, and that goes through the middle. That goes through, yeah, that's right. Right, so now let's see. Where have I? That's right there. Let me just, I wonder if I have. Let me just have a quick look at this one over here, because it doesn't hurt to have one to look at. Because if I missed a hole out, then yeah. Hang on. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. Oh no, I'm not. Ah. I'm wrong. Pardon me, folks. Yeah, what I've done, I've actually put and the problem is you can't take this off. You cannot take that off. I don't think you can. If I could take that off and move it to the next hole, actually I think you can. Yeah, because you pull it out, oops, push that in with your finger. I think you can do it actually. Yeah, lift that out of there. Lift that out of there. Then you should be able to lift that up. Move the push pad back one. In fact, you should actually be able to just you should be able to just pull that out, that pin out. There we go. Lift that up. I'll try it this way. If I can't get it to work, I'll do it the traditional way. I'm just trying to find a quick way of getting out of me. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah, never mind. Just do it the way we were doing it, shall we? I thought it was an easier way. You just can't get enough lift. You you can push that up, but you can't get enough lift. You can't get enough lift on that. You can't get enough lift, and I'm not going to run the risk of bending it. So what we'll do, we'll turn this back round. This is going to be some fun, putting this back in. That's what it's all about. Yeah, this is what it's all about. Get that back onto there, that's correct. So I want that back into its hole there. Yeah, that's correct. Let's leave that there. Now the other thing is getting this round there. Getting your pliers on it. I might have to use my fingers. It is actually, there we are, we're in that one. So if I get this one now, and one of these is actually shorter than the other. There we go, that's one gone in. Come on you. There, we've got one in. So the other one should just get in. Yeah, we're almost in. Get in, you fuck. Wow. If I pull that up a bit, there we go. Just slide it across. Believe it or not, it came out a lot easier than what it goes back in. There we go. They are designed to come out. There we go. We're not quite there, but we're not far off it. Get in. And if you thought that probably hurt, it actually did. So what I'm trying to do is get that under there, hold that there. You can't. That's what you get when you try and do it the cheap, quick way. Are we in there now? Not bloody far off. There we are. Near enough. One. There we go. Oh. You can't bend anything. You have to put it in the way it come out. Let's try these big pliers because I can't get it with those. No, they're not going to go in. No. I did have a really good pair of green pliers, but I don't know where they've gone. They're in here somewhere. And with these having a curve on them, you can only use them one way really. You know, that came out a lot easier than what it's going to go back in, isn't it? But it will go in. There we are. There we go, got it. Yeah. Right, I've got to do it the long way, haven't I? It only matters, I think I might get away with just lifting one side of the push pad. Which is this side. Let's take the hardware off. Now if I just lift it out, take the spring with it, yeah. Move that across. There we go. Move that across. No. Move the push pad back. That's it. Get the spring. Yeah, put the bloody push pad in the wrong bloody way. Not too far, but one all out. One slot out I'd put it. Now if I can just dangle that upside down, get the bloody spring through, we'd have everything. See, that's how it should go. There we go. Now I want the spring to come through the hole. Come on, you, don't you dare bounce back in there. There, gotcha. Right, drop that back into position. Yeah, that's it. Spot on. Put a bit more grease where I've rubbed it slightly off. There we go. Put the clip back, put that back on. See, I don't edit my videos. You know, and even when I make a mistake and I put something in the wrong position, I still don't edit them because I'm human at the end of the day. Well, sort of. So they tell me. Now this needs to just come across to here and hook into there. That's it. That now works. And the push pad works. There we go. Yep, that all works now. I'm not worried about that because that goes that goes to that spring there. Oh no, that goes to the yeah that goes that way. It comes through, or it could go that way actually, yeah, and that's how that works. And as you can see, it all works now. Now just touch up on where we lost a bit of grease. There we go. Now what we need to do is we need to put the We need to put the, I wonder if I can put the, we're not ready for that yet. I wonder if I can put the gear back on, because that'll get that out of the way. I wonder if I can put the gear back on and just paste a bit of grease around it so it's got something to move on. I wonder if I can put this gear back on here now. Hang on. That didn't come off there, it must come off the top. No, that didn't come off the bottom. Because it doesn't fit in, it doesn't fit on there. And it doesn't come off the top either. So did it come off? No, it didn't come off here. Oh, I know what that is. It's a piece of plastic that's broke off the thing. It's found its way under there. So what we'll do, we'll put the... Right, so what we'll do now, we'll... There you go. And that's your rest position there, I believe. That's not off that. If it is, it's bloody severely stretched. It's not off that, it's just make doubly sure. That is off that, it's a bit. Yeah, that is off that because it's not. It's off that. Yeah. Leave that there for a minute, so let's get. Make sure we find. Like there off the record deck. Right. Off the motor. We're a good few clips. Got a good few clips. And that goes in there. That must be the one for there. So that big one goes on that one there. Yep, that's correct. Now I want this spring. Now I'm hoping I can put all this together without taking anything back off here. I'm hoping all this is going to fit in. Right. Now this one goes in. goes in. We've got another bar to put in, which is, yeah, that one's there. Yeah. Yeah, because that feeds through. Yeah, that feeds through there, that's correct. Now, I want to make sure I get this. Right, that's your. Right, this thin spring went through. Let's have a look what goes onto you. Nope, don't need to worry about that for a minute. See, when you're taking these off, you should always pay attention. Right, so we've got this feeds through here. That feeds through there. Right, let's have a look which way around we're going to go here. Doesn't go on that one. Everything goes on one of them now. And it doesn't go on that one. No, it doesn't. But it goes. We actually have. We have this one as well, which has to go in. Oh, this one's out of your top of your arm, isn't it? I know where that one's from. Yeah, that one's from the top of your arm. It goes into here. So we'll sort it out on that one. Now this one. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have a look where that one goes. If I can see it. Right. Yeah, because it always helps to have an extra one so you can see what you're doing. Right, and I can't really see because of all the muck and crap on this one. Right. Oh, I can't see where that goes, to be honest. I can't see where that goes without stripping the damn thing, and I'm not doing that yet. I just need to see where the end is. It's a bloody long spring, so yeah, that other one I was right goes under there. I just need to see. There's the velocity, there's the you can't see. You can't see in there. You just can't see. You can't see where that goes, so that's going to be worked out. See, it actually fell out, this one, so let's put this in, because this it'll come to me in a minute. So this sort of slips through there, and that slips in there. So that slips through there. Because that's how it goes. It goes like that, and that grips over that. and the screw nut and bolt go through there. That's right. Yeah, because that's adjustable, that. Not really adjustable, it's so you can get it in the correct order for it to go in. But what I want to do, I want to work out, and I think I just want to work out where this spring goes. I don't want to put too much in. I don't want to put too much in until I know where that spring goes, because that spring it goes through. It doesn't go through there. Nope, it doesn't go there. We'll suss it in a minute, folks, don't you worry. Right, so bring this back round. That's it. That's in its rest position. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Because that's supposed to go there, and that's supposed to be pushed up, and that's the arm in its rest position. And this, the only place I can see this going doesn't go on the top of that, because I've looked at the other one. It does fit, but it doesn't go on the top of that, that's for sure. It goes. It sits round something. Because that's, so it sits round something. But I can't remember what. It doesn't sit round that, because it can't. So, I hate it when you get stuck. I'm just looking. Let's check this velocity trip. No, don't go on a velocity trip. Let's check this damn thing. That's for that. What if it went on there? It could have done, couldn't it? Let's have a look. What we'll do, we'll fit this anyway. So let's get our, there's a nut, there should be a nut and bolt, there it is, there's a nut and bolt, and it went through I think it goes through that way, because we can't have the nut fouling or the screw fouling. It goes through there. That's perfect, yeah, because you've got the cut out there for the screw. It's the same shape as the screw head. That's good enough. So what we'll do, we'll pop that into there. Make sure that we are. Yeah, and that spring, I can see where it goes now. pain in the arse, that spring, but I can see where it goes now. Now I've put this back on, I can see where it actually goes. And it does go where I thought. I've got my, what do you call it here? Is that it for my nut spinner? Well, that's got so far and gone stiff. And it shouldn't do. Because it should go right up the bloody... Just gonna have to wait. That's it. There we go. We're not quite there because we're sort of lifted up on one side. So it's just... That's it. That's got it. Why is Christine phoning me? She only lives across the goddamn road. There we are. Take that out. That's good. Now, bloody spring, pain in the arse of a spring. Here's where it goes, folks. Here's where it goes after all that. Let's get this in position. And that's... Don't you dare say I've got to move all that again because of that. I need to get that past there now. Oh, you bummer. Ah. You don't get that through there. Just a little bit. Nope. I'm gonna have to adjust it. Let's just see if I can move that now, because that, no, push that button up. Now put the magic this lever back in position. That's it. That's that in. That's how that's supposed to go. Then we've got our spring, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. And that spring, believe it or not, it goes on there, around there. Oops. And it goes through there. That's where that spring goes. That's why you can't see it from the top. Let's just put this back in position, which is there. And that spring, does it come through the other way? But that's where it goes. It goes There we go. That's where it goes. And this goes on there. And then it goes get in. That's how it goes. Because that is like a sort of a primitive anti-skate. It can't come out of there. And if I bring this further back, there we go. That's the arm at rest. And that's how it goes, folks. Let's have a look at the chat, shall we? That took some doing, didn't it? What we got there? I mean, I do get stuck every now and again. When you've not done one for a while, you do get a bit stuck. Everybody does. We're only human, you know. But yeah, we're done. We're back together now. All that's left to do now with this is to feed this through there. And that has to be fed, because that has to go on. Yeah, that does go through there because that goes on there, and this can be a real pain in the ass to get back on. Come off easy enough, but going back on they can be a bloody pain sometimes. There we are, we've done it. Right, so what we do, we'll just let that drop down. Give it a drop of oil. I don't put grease on there because it'll only a bit more than a drop there, but no worries. Lift this off, and a bit of the oil will go under there. And that clip that I was on about earlier, goes on the bottom here, not where I thought it went. It goes here. There we go. There we are. That goes onto here. That goes onto the other end of the, what do you call it, onto the control arm. And that is absolutely bang on. So what we'll do, we'll try it now. I've got to put the velocity trip lever back in, haven't I? And the velocity trip lever is this one here. And that slips through the front, through that opening. And that slips onto there, like so. I don't put any lubricant on there. And we've got 4 washers, so one of them goes on there. Then we have the clip. Make sure we've got the right clip. Yep. They're all the fucking same size from now on anyway. They're all the same size now, these clips. Get off you, get here. Right. Are all these washers the same thickness? Yeah, they bloody are. That clip there, that one looks all gnarled up, somebody had tried. Right. Well, that fits in there beautifully. There we are. So now what happens is, when the record gets, when the arm gets to the end of the record, that's gone forward, which it's supposed to do. That now moves anti-clockwise. Bring that there. There we go. And that's how that works. We've got any spring to put on here. We have a spring that is supposed to go yeah. That goes under there. Because that is supposed to be under there. Just pop that under there. We'll take that just off there, bring it back. That's under there now where it belongs. Now that should now, yeah, that works as it should. Turn that. Lift this up. Come on, up you come. It's got to go over that. There we go. Bring that backward. That's correct. That's supposed to sit on the top of there. Then it, because that pulls along, that goes the other side, yeah, and pulls along there. So basically, yeah, that's correct. Put the, yeah, we're under there where we should be. Put the clip on. We're done. Yeah, we're done. Pretty much. The rest of them clips there should be 3 circlips. Well, actually, it should be about 4 because we've got one that goes onto the switch, goes onto the mechanism. So basically, that goes there, and that the control arm pulls that either backwards or forwards. That's how that works. Then we've got to just clean and lubricate the ball race and the flush washers. I'm not happy with those, so we'll give them a clean. I think most of the issue with them is the fact that they're not dirty. They've got crap on them really. They've got the actual grease is actually eating away the nickel plating. So like on the other side it's a bit better, so we'll use the other side. Yeah. We'll stick that on there. Then what we'll do, we'll clean out this. Yeah, when you've not done one for a while, you're sort of like, you know, your memory doesn't just, you just don't think. You know, especially when parts fall out, you know, you have to sit and wonder then where does that one go. But eventually, you know, luckily I had one there, but if I hadn't, I would have worked out. I've got the manual anyway, so, and that's what the manual's for. The manual is for that problem, for that reason. You know, you have a bit of trouble. Let's use the grease that's in that lid. I'll probably do about 3 decks at. Because what we wonder is, but yeah, I mean, you get to see everything. You know, there's nothing hidden on this channel. You know, I don't even test anything without you lot seeing it. You know, because I don't think it's fair that you should do that. I say, yeah, here's one I did earlier. I don't think so. Drop that onto there. Get the other. That wipe. Should only need a wipe. Because the or in the exception of this one, because this is a bit dirtier. Let's get it on there. Clean all the crap off. This one's a bit better, but we're still going to use it upside down anyway. There we go. Get rid of that bump off it there. That's if it is a bump, it might be just, yeah, it's in the nickel coating that. It's not coming off. Yeah, that'll do. But we're going to use the other side anyway. We're going to put on that way. There we go. Let's have a look what time it is. I'll give Christine a ring, see what she wanted. And then I'll come and have a chat with you guys. And I'll go and have a pee in a minute and I'll... well, one was Laura, the other one was Christine. I'll ring back in a minute. What time is it? 20, just coming up to 20 past. I'll just go and have a slash, folks. I'll be... Oh. Bloody hell. I'll come back in a minute. I'll just go and have a pee and we'll get finished off. We're nearly done. That feels better. Ooh. Now, let's sit and have a chat with you guys for a minute. So basically we're at the end of this. We've got what we can do. We can actually test this, I think. I think we can just do it by hand and test it. Now there's the velocity trip. That's definitely right. Because, yeah, the arm's there. Then if I go, there we go. That should lock into there. Then this comes round. Hang on, let's take that off there a minute. Pop that through there. It definitely goes there. This spring has been there. It definitely goes that way. Yeah, I thought it went the other way because it fell out. You see, when I did it, it fell out to straighten it. So I've not got a bend in it. There we go. That's good. Right, and what'll happen now? The arm's now gone over to the record. That moves in, hits the velocity trip. The velocity trip, if I can show you. If I can show you, hits that. The turntable then grabs onto that, knocks it out, it bumps it anti-clockwise, brings it back, and that's how it works. And it'll keep going over to the 7-inch position until, right, that's on. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this by hand, but we'll try. Yes, I have. The arm will stay there now. There, and it trips that and turns it off. How about that, folks? Yeah. I don't know how much of that you've seen, but I'll try my best to demonstrate it the best as possible. But yeah, we had this issue here with this spring because it fell out, but we're back in there now. And that's just some sort of primitive anti-skate. That would never bloody matter if it was never in there, but it came out of there, so it has to go back in. You can't just throw parts away. So let me move. So we're back together. So how many is watching? 22. Good evening, Bill. Thank you very much. You got the same cup. How's that? How's that? Nerd spotting. Absolutely. I mean, if you're going to have a cup of tea, it may as well be a bloody big one, mightn't it? Now, let's get rid of this. Let's see if we'll get that lump of shit out. There we are. Pour that back in. I'll tell you, I'll lift that out of my cup, shall I? Now, we'll put that out of the way. And I'm absolutely pleased with that. I mean, look at that. I'm going to zoom in. We've got a couple of things. We've still got a couple of things to connect. We've got to put a centre spindle in it, and it goes through that hole there, so I can't connect that spring. But that's the only thing, really. Everything else is done. I mean, yeah, that's the only thing, really. And look at it. And I want to try and get a zoom in. Because, hang on, that's it. Right, let's try and get a full zoom in, and I can show you just how good this thing looks. And we may even service the motor while we're here. Get that done and out of the way. Let's see if we can zoom in any more with the camera. There we are. Get rid of them cotton buds after and smooth it over a little bit. There we go, how's that? That looks like brand new. Do you know that's the one that's going to be going in your mechanism, Paul? That mechanism is the one that's going to be going in the back into the plate that goes into your record player, along with the nice control arm. But yeah, I'm actually quite very pleased with it. I'm not quite pleased with it. I'm absolutely very pleased. And remember, folks, there are parts of these that you don't lubricate. You don't just throw grease all over it, because it doesn't work if you do that. Things start gumming up. Zoom out a bit, and I'll have a quick read of the chat, and then we'll get stuck in and do the motor. The motor's very simple. Probably. Oh, I forgot to show you this, didn't I? Hang on a minute. Yeah, Paul brought me this today. On his visit. He brought me this. I'm going to have to zoom out so you can see him. And he's got a big spot on his back. Look at him, he's cute. I'm going to show you him. And he's going to live here in the workshop. He's going to live in the workshop, this fella. Yeah, Paul brought me him today. But look at that, how cute is he? But I'm going to call him Patch, because he's got a patch on his eye there. I mean, I could have called him Spot, because he's got a spot just above his arse, but I'll call him Patch. We'll call him Patch, won't we? And look at him, he's lovely, isn't he? I think there's a button there you could press, you know, and it used to bark or something. Because it feels like there's something inside his head. I think there's some, I don't know, some sort of button. But he's nice, isn't he? He's going to live in the workshop. I've not found a place for him yet. I mean, I'm not going to let Scraps have him, because he'll chew him up and rip him to bits. So he's going to live in the workshop. He's going to be called Patch. I'll do the coffee, Christy. What did you want me for?
Laura wanted you.
What for?
She just wanted to speak to you.
Oh, right. I'll speak to you in a bit. I'm just doing my live stream. But that's Patch, and he's going to live in the workshop. I'll find somewhere to put him. Going to call him Patch because he's got a patch above his eye. Right, so let's see where we're at. Scraps 2.0. Yeah, it does. It looks factory fresh. Thank you, even though we did get stuck. Oh, hello, Graham. Yeah, we're all sorted now. Oh, you read my messages on the phone? No worries. Yes, I've. Yeah, I know you got them. No worries. We got. Yeah, we've just got this finished off. I mean, I did get a bit. I had a bit of an issue with a spring here, which is basically primitive anti-skate spring, because it fell out. I couldn't remember which bloody way it went in. But we're back. We've got it back in. It's all back in one piece. It's got the right amount of lubricant in it. In fact, what I'll actually do, no, I won't. I was going to put a bit on the velocity trip lever. I'm not going to. We'll leave that with no lubricant on it because I think it's best to do that. But yeah, with tonight's project, Graham, it was the BSR UA8 changer, record changer from 19... What? No, I'm doing a bloody video. I don't know what, I've not decided what I'm doing yet. You know, she's a typical animal, thinks of her stomach. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll decide when I'm finished. And this is, oh, I keep thinking that spring's running around on the bench doing nothing. It's not. It's attached to that there, which goes to the control lever. And that's supposed to face the other way. That's supposed to go that way because the control lever, the control arm is on that side. And that's how that goes. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, Harvey's deleted another message. Oh, Paul said hello, Christine. Yeah. Right, so what have we got going on here? Yeah, we're all good here now, everything's sorted.
What you say, Andy?
I said, don't shout, you don't have to shout. Paul, who was here this afternoon, said hello.
Oh, tell him to say hello back.
He probably heard you. She said hello back, Paul. Anyway, should we get down with it and get the motor done? This is going to be a simple job, the motor. We'll take the washers off there so we don't lose them. If we don't put the washers back on, then the motor doesn't sit at the right height. Now they're very simple to sort out, these motors. Very, very simple. You don't need a degree in rocket science. But I will say this. When you take the motor apart, when you take it apart, know which is your top and bottom. The reason why I say that is because if you put it back together the wrong way up, it'll run backwards. We need the IPA again. We're not going to strip this motor, there's no need. I only strip them if they're seized, and that's not seized. That's perfect, actually. In fact, actually, I'll be very disappointed if that even needs oiling, but it will get oiled. And what we're going to do, we're just going to clean the muck and crap off with a cotton bud and blow it off as well. There's no crap on the underside, that we're okay. So what we'll do, we'll get the cotton bud, just generally give it a clean round. Clean down there where the winding is. That way it won't smell horrible when it's running. I think, can I get this apart without, yeah, I'm going to take it apart. The reason why is I'm not going to be able to get any oil in the bottom bearing because of this cover. And what we'll do, we'll use the nut spinner to get more purchase on it. There we go. And I'll know which side it goes back together because it should because the nut spinner, because the bottom bearing will stay in place. I can just drip the oil down into it hopefully, or it might even slide out, but the cover's on so we know which way up it goes. And that's a bummer, isn't it? That's it. Come on. There we go. There we go. Out it comes. Now the bottom bearing won't slide out. That doesn't matter because we can go to it because there's enough room in there. There's enough room in there to get me cotton bud in order to clean it. Oh, look at that. That needed a clean. Even though it was fairly oily. It needed a clean. That's probably not been oiled since it was made. Yeah, the last time that was oiled was probably when it left BSR. I think we're alright now. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. That'll do. Yeah, the bottom bearing's just broke loose, but it's no problem. We just hold it back in position and we only want a couple of drops of oil in there. Don't overdo it, that'll do it. So we'll leave that for a minute there while we clean. We're not going to mess about taking the pulley off because it'll be out of position if we do. So we could, but we're not going to. Yeah. Yeah, just put that on here for me, Christine. Put that on there for me. Cheers. I don't know what I'm doing for supper. I don't know yet, I've not made my mind up. We haven't got any buns, have we?
Got bread.
I know, I don't fancy spam. I had that the other night. I don't fancy spam and eggs.
Chicken burger.
I might do that, yeah. I don't fancy eating spam. I ate spam the other night for me tea. I don't mind it, to be honest with you, but don't want it twice in the space of a few days. But I'd like to get this, gotcha. There we are. See, I don't want to take the pulley off because it means I've got to readjust it and everything, and there's no need for the pulley to come off. Now all we need to do now is just lubricate that top bearing. And just 1 or 2 drops of oil down the shaft. There we go. It'll never. This will probably never get serviced again. Probably never get serviced again. Certainly not in my lifetime. I don't think it will get serviced again. But I hope somebody does realise that it should be serviced. And I think Paul, who owns it, I think he will do it. But you know, I think Paul will do it. There we go. Hold that close together. Now, which bloody way around did he go? Yeah, the nut and bolt went on this one. And the nut and post, and the post and bolt went on the other side. Obviously. Make sure we're in. Just slacken that one off slightly because I'm not happy with the fact that it hasn't slipped into place. That's it. Always make sure that it's in place, otherwise it will drag. Not only that, you could bugger the bloody motor bearing up. So what we'll do, we'll just get that on there. That's it. Then get this on here. That's it. Don't overdo them. Don't have to be overdone. And that's it. Look at that. The spin down on that. I'll tell you what else I always do with these. I always give them a bit of a jiggle round like that. And that centres the bearing perfectly. Look at that now. That's the motor serviced. And also, you don't want it sticking when you lift it up and it wants to drop straight down. That's ready to go back in the chassis. Right, the only part of the mechanism we've got to do now is the speed. Let's just put our 4 washers, our 3 washers back onto our motor. Don't want to lose up. There we go. Right, so there we go. That's all good. Let's move it out of the way. Let's bring the base plate back up and we can go through the speed mechanism. Speed mechanism on these is very simple. In fact, there's actually nothing to it. In fact, basically, you'd be hard pressed to find a problem with the speed mechanism. We just want a bit of oil there. On the switch pivot, we'll put a bit of oil on the control switch pivot. We'll put a bit of oil on that pivot. This does not take a lot. Now, We need to clean the base plate up on this. It's a bit scabby, but we got work. That's no problem, and that all that works lovely. So what we're going to do, because it works lovely but doesn't work perfectly, because you want them. You want them like butter. And there's no need to take all this out to do this. It can be done pretty much in situ. There we go. Get a bit of grease. Always put a bit of grease in. Some people just sit them with oil, and you can't always do that. Does that there move up and down? Yes, it does. So we'll start with a bit of grease there. There we go. Bit of grease in there. Might sound like I'm putting a lot on here, but I'm not, believe it or not. That there's good. Yeah, that's 70, 78, 45, 33, neutral in the middle, and 16. Yeah, there's your neutral. It's just in the middle there. And that's your 16. Now what we'll do, we won't put grease on that pivot there. What we'll do, we'll oil that. And a little bit of oil goes a long way. We will put a little bit of grease, however, on there, because you've got friction there. Well, that's bit of oil on that pivot. It'll work its way in. Yeah, going into 78 perfectly now. 45, 33, 16, and neutral is in the middle there. And remember, guys and girls, I'll get that message in a minute. Remember, guys and girls, if, oh, let's just clean that there. Let's just get a bit of, there we are. Just give that a bit of grease. Remember, we want these speeds. We want it to feel like butter when you change it. That one I've got in the P-Tone Scott in the bedroom, that's a lovely mechanism. And it's pretty mint and all, there's no scratches on it from what I can remember. So, yeah, that's 16, 78, oh look at that. Just take the excess oil off the top of there. There we go, because enough would have worked in. Yeah, we'll just clean that bottom bit there. Let's put a bit of grease, because there are things that you do overlook. You should, you know, by accident. You don't do them deliberately. You just, there we are. Bit of grease on there. And be careful when you're turning these. You don't want to turn the knob. That knob's a bit crooked. Is the knob damaged? Has it been glued back on? I don't know. But could have been, yeah. The shaft could be bent. But there again, 16, neutral, 33, 45, 78. Yeah, if I could turn them in one go, not have any jerkiness. Yeah, that's 45. But that being said, remember we are gonna slightly catch because we've not got the motor or anything in. That's 45. And that's 78. Yeah, and that's all lovely. That's like butter. That's all nice and smooth. And remember, your idler's going to be over here, so it's going to make it a bit easier anyway. By the time your idler's in, that's done. Right, I'm not going to put this together tonight because I want to clean the base plate. And let me just check what this message was. It might be from Graham. Oh, it's not. It's from Jill. What's this? Woman whose husband died 9 years ago makes shock discovery in restaurant pic. More details, really. A woman who says her husband died 9 years ago claims to have made a shock discovery in the restaurant's Facebook photo. The Spice Cottage in West Sussex was trying to promote itself by taking, well, that's as far as I can go. Cooking, no, I don't want to get involved with that. Apparently she thinks her husband's probably still alive. Get into the nitty gritty of that one. Let's have a look at my emails while I'm here. Nothing. There's one there from the judge. Yeah, showing me that your centre spindle fits. Lovely, mate. I'm glad. I knew it would, because I sent you the right part. But it was better than paying a bloody £5, you know. That's ridiculous. Facebook. Notifications. Just do all this while I'm talking to you guys. I've got one message left. Oh, yeah, that's fine, that, Graham. Yeah, one-ish, yeah, that's absolutely cool, mate. Yeah, cheers, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you do with it, to be perfectly honest. I know you'll do something exciting. It'll be certainly worth watching the video, that's for sure. I like the last one you did on the is it fake or is it genuine? I thought that was good. Because so many people get duped, you know, and it's nice that somebody's actually taking the good time and trouble to check some of these parts. I'll be on channel 30 tomorrow. Yeah, what Muppet or mid? Because I generally float around mid-band, but I can be on channel 30 Muppet, that's not a problem. Yeah. Yeah, just let me know which one, whether it's mid-band or UK 1 to 40. I'll make sure the radio's on. Yeah, Channel 30 Muppet. No worries, mate. I'll be there. No worries. I'll be there, my friend. I'll turn it on about. I'll turn it on about 1:45 or something. Well, I'll turn it on before that. Yeah, I'll turn it on about 12:30, 1:15. And yeah. Right. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way my mechanism, well, Paul's mechanism, should I say. Paul's mechanism has turned out. That's a nice, another job well done. I'm not going to clean it now. I'll clean all this, give this a good polish and clean tomorrow. And Harvey's asking to see a real close-up of the deck. I have a spring missing. Not sure where it goes. Is it on the speed controller or on the main mechanism, Harvey? Because there's a spring on the main mechanism here that on the speed controller everybody seems to stretch. It's the one connecting the idler to the actual base plate. Yeah, let me know whether it's on the mechanism or on the bit I've just refurbished, or whether it's on the bit I'm going to do tomorrow. On the base plate or the mech. Because there's lots of springs. You know, if you tell me which one, whereabouts it is, and I know what to. Yeah, you get the idea. Right, let's have a look at the chat, see what we're saying. Let's move the phone out of the way for a minute. Let's put the top on the. No, I won't put the top on the grease. I'll just shove the brush on the grease. Oh yeah, I will actually, because we've still got some in the cap that we haven't used, so I don't want to throw anything away, because I can't afford to throw stuff away. There we go, pop that on the top of there. Let's see what people are saying. Well, you see, if you're going to service them, Harvey, you may as well do main to the idler. Right. Right, I'll send you the photograph, Harvey. I'll send you a photograph, it's easier to just send you the picture. See, somebody's already stretched that one as well. People do, and I don't know why. Did that even take the bloody picture? Yeah, it must have done. Never made a noise though. Yeah, it did. There you go, Harvey. There's your picture. The record dictator, absolutely. Grand job, Andy. Yeah, I'd like to think so. Not used for over 30 years. Well, it'll be getting plenty of use from this guy who owns it. I'll tell you that now. Andy is the turntable repair king. Thank you very much, Harvey. Even though I freed up that stuck Grundig motor. that way. That's how you do them. It's the only way you can do them. You just put a couple of drops of oil in them, and they'll run for another 30 years. Because they're made out of oil retaining materials. That's what I call it, yeah. I think I've covered everything there, haven't I? Yeah, this little this little tablet's done its job, hasn't it, guys? You know, it's this little tablet's done its job. It's worked really well, hasn't it? I think so. Yeah, it's worked really well. I'm really happy. I mean, that was with postage, it come to £65, and I bought that from my donations that I got from mainly from Mike from Racing Demon. So you know, thank you very much for that, Mike. Absolutely. And I hope you're feeling better soon, my friend. I'll send you a message tomorrow, or if I get the chance I'll do it later. But I will certainly message you and see how you are. Hope you and the wife is okay. And hope to hear from you soon, and I hope it's good news that we do hear soon, for my friend. Thank you very much. Anyway, what have we got left? Yeah, the tablet does make it easy. You're welcome, Harvey. The tablet does make it easier because I don't have to do that. I don't have to keep looking round to see if I'm in shot or the thing I'm working on's in shot. And if I need to, I can go to full screen if I'm not sure. I've not had to tonight, but if I wanted to, I could go to full screen and view it. It's, you know, it was really worth. You know, it was really worth the money buying the tablet. But I'm going to leave this here for now, folks, and we'll finish cleaning this tomorrow. And I'll have a look at the other one. We'll probably do the other one, and that one can be then put in stock, because Paul told me what was left I could keep. So, you know, but he just wants the best bits putting in the one that's going back to him. You can't blame the man for that. Now he's probably gonna get this one, because this one's got a scratch here that you can hardly see. Yeah, that looks like, yeah, it's got a scratch there you can hardly see, just on where the metal folds here, where it's been pressed. It's got a scratch there. I'll probably try and take this knob off, because it doesn't matter if it breaks. There's another one, but I want to get under there to clean it, you see, and I'm not sure if the knob's bent or the shaft's bent. But these are very difficult. Oh no, that's come off. Whew. Because what happens is these have an habit of breaking, and there's a way of repairing them. I have shown it before. Look, all the detritus and stuff under there. We'll see if we can pull him off as well. I don't think he's going to go. Yeah, he is. Oh, got him. I'd have hate to have broken him. Because look at the condition of him. He's got all his writing on him. He's lovely, him. He's a nice knob. And he's not bad. So they're probably the two knobs that will go back on. Well, they certainly will be. But I've taken them off so we can clean under here tomorrow. We'll get all this cleaned under. I didn't take the speed mechanism apart. There was no point. I didn't see the point, because you can get into everything with the grease. So we can deal with that. Sorted that out. You think you need to see a picture with the idler in situ. Oh, that's easy enough, Harvey. Here we are. There we go. That's the, and now I'm not putting the motor back in because it has to be clean, so you know it's tough if you want one with the motor. You have to wait until the motor goes back in. I'll certainly send you one now of the idler. Don't mind doing that because it's just a matter of us letting it sit there. Right. So you don't want on me big, we don't want one on me belly. There we go. Send. And there we go. There's not much difference. I mean, how can you not actually? Yeah, I don't understand how you can't work that out. Never mind. Anyway, we'll clean the idler on this. We'll check it with the idler on the other one. And if I'm not happy with neither, I'll just stick them another idler on. I've got lots of them. I've got lots of good ones. But we've also got to get the centre spindle out of that one because that one's a write-off because the record pusher's missing out of it. Somebody's obviously had it apart at some point and they've lost the record pusher. But that's not a problem, we can soon stick one of them in. As soon as they stick the spindle off the other one. It's not in that bag, is it? Let's have a look, see if the, because there's a bag here with a load of bits. And none of them apart from the knobs belong to this record player, so I wonder if the transit screws are there, the split pins, the washers that go on the bottom of them, there's the knobs, there's a plug, a shitload of screws. Yeah, but there's no, which is a shame really. Yeah, there's no, what do you call it there? Yeah, so there's no record, there's no record pusher. But that's no problem because the one that I keep, I'll just keep it in the shed anyway. When I get one I'll just keep it, I'll have it ready to use. And when a spindle does become available, there's plenty of these about. When one does become available, then I'll just change it. I'll just do it then. That's not a problem. I can live with that. So I'm happy with the way this has turned out. Certainly happy with the way how it's come up. I mean, it's come up like new. You know, probably the last time it looked like that it was actually coming off the production line, that mechanism. Let's have a look at the, yeah, some are Harvey, it's true that, mate. Yeah, someone had attached, someone had stretched out the spring so that the hole, to that hole, not onto the metal post. Yeah, because there's a hole there, and there's a metal post right next to it. It goes onto the metal post. That's right, yeah. Not all of them do though, some of them go onto the hole. I'm sure I've seen one or two where they've gone onto the hole. Anyway, we don't want to sit here talking about holes all night, do we? About 7. I normally go, for those that want to come back tomorrow, we've gone down to 11 watchers. I'll be going soon anyway, because it's getting to around about supper time. It's 28 minutes, 8 minutes past 10. Right, well I'll be on about, I'll be live about 7ish. I generally come on live about 7ish or something. Like I said, I didn't come on live yesterday because I felt horrible. And I cancelled Steve, so Steve didn't even turn up because I cancelled him. I phoned him up in good time, that is. I rang him up about midday, about 11:30, 12, and asked him to leave it, you know, because I felt I had a really bad headache, to be honest. Out! And that was it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. It'll be demonstrated. We'll connect it to the safe block tomorrow once everything's back in. Centre spindle. We'll have it drop. We'll have that dropping records tomorrow night before I finish. You know, and that's it. And the interweb stayed on tonight, which is all good. What we like to hear. I'm going to move over to the camera. To the computer, because I'm going to, well, you know, when I get near the computer, usually means I'm ready for going. And I will await your shout tomorrow, Graham. Channel 30 Muppets, no worries there. And we, you know, you can, you know, you've got the address, because obviously I don't want to give the address out over that on the radio, but you've got the address. No worries, you take it easy, and I look forward to meeting you tomorrow, my friend. As for the rest of you, the rest of you reprobates, I'll see you tomorrow night around the same time. And goodbye and good night. And remember, if you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. If you you know, share, subscribe. Anybody wants to buy me a coffee, click the link at the top. You don't have to, it's not compulsory. I mean, look at that deck on that picture, it looks really clear, doesn't it? Looks really clean, but it ain't. Yeah, good night, Paul, to both you and your missus, and your dogs, and I'll catch you all this way tomorrow. Bye for now, folks. Good night. It's asking me here now, because I did it a different way tonight, if I want to end the broadcast or stop the stream.